We hear a ton about artificial general intelligence, or AGI, but today we're going to go beyond the code and algorithms to look at something much, much bigger. How AI could completely reshape our governments and, really, the very fabric of free societies as we know them.
And look, this isn't some far-off science fiction fantasy. As physicist Sabine Hassenfelder points out here, we don't even need to get to full AGI. Just the systems we have coming online now are set to change the world dramatically. So the question isn't if this is going to have a massive impact, it's how we're going to manage it.
You can think of AGI as the next great technological leap. On the scale of the printing press or the steam engine. It's this incredible double-edged sword. On one hand, it offers these amazing opportunities for progress, but on the other, it comes with risks to our institutions that are, frankly, completely unprecedented.
And what's truly mind-boggling is just how fast this is all moving. I mean, just look at these curves. In areas like generating code, understanding language, and even really complex reasoning, AI isn't just getting close to human performance, it is blowing right past it. The acceleration is just incredible.
So how in the world do you even start to think about these kinds of risks? Well, the paper we're pulling from today introduces this really powerful framework from the economists Darren Acemoglu and James Robinson. It's designed to help us understand that fragile, delicate balance that's needed for a free society to even exist.
They call it the narrow corridor, and the idea is pretty simple but profound. It's this special zone where the state is strong enough to, enforce laws and protect our rights, but it's not so overwhelmingly powerful that it just crushes the freedom of its own people. It's a constant, difficult balancing act.
And if you fall out of that corridor, you pretty much end up in one of two very bad places. On one side, you get what they call the despotic Leviathan. That's an all-powerful state that leads to authoritarianism and surveillance. On the other side, you get the absent Leviathan, a state that's so weak it can't maintain order, which leads to anarchy.
And this is really the core idea here. AGI is a force that is powerful enough to knock us right off this tightrope. It could supercharge the state, pushing us towards despotism. Or it could empower all sorts of non-state actors, risking a slide into total anarchy. Either way, we fall out of that narrow corridor of liberty.
Okay, so let's get practical. How could AGI actually change the day-to-day business of governing? What does this look like on the ground?
Well, the possibilities are just vast. We're talking about things like the potential for perfect, automated enforcement of every single law, the rise of what you might call AI bureaucrats that make administrative decisions, and maybe even totally new ways for all of us to participate in our own democracy.
This quote about Tesla is a fantastic, if slightly weird example of what perfect enforcement means. So when Tesla's self-driving cars were learning from humans, they also learned our bad habits, like doing a rolling stop at a stop sign when no one's around. But here's the crazy part. Because the algorithm sees and records everything, regulators had to demand perfect, by-the-book compliance. That's a standard we would never, and really could never, hold actual human drivers to.
Now, imagine AI agents taking over really complex jobs, like being a policy analyst or a fraud investigator. I mean, sure, this could make government incredibly efficient, but it opens up this huge can of worms. If an AI bureaucrat makes a bad call, who's responsible? Who do you appeal to? How do we even make sure these systems are fair in the first place?
Okay, now here is a wild idea from the paper. It's almost science fiction. What if you had your own personal AI, a digital twin that knew you so well, understood your values so deeply that it could represent your preferences on every single policy issue? Maybe it could even vote for you. It's a concept that could totally revolutionize democracy, for better or maybe for worse.
All right, so the challenges are obviously massive, but the paper doesn't just sound the alarm. It actually offers a strategy for how we might navigate this future while protecting our freedoms. So the big question is, how do we get the benefits of AGI while staying inside that narrow corridor?
The whole strategy really boils down to three big things. First, we have to build technological safeguards right into the AI systems themselves. Second, we need to adapt our existing government institutions to get them ready for the AGI era. And third, we have to actively use these powerful new tools to strengthen, not weaken, our democratic processes.
So what does that actually look like in practice? Well, it means investing in things called privacy-enhancing technologies. Stuff that can, say, verify information without revealing the underlying private data, which is a great way to push back against mass surveillance. It means designing hybrid systems, like a court, where an AI analyzes all the legal data, but a human judge always makes the final call.
And it means using AGI to build platforms where millions of us could actually deliberate on complex issues and find common ground in ways that are just impossible today.
So, at the end of the day, this all brings us to the fundamental choice we have to make. And the stakes could not be higher. We are building a technology that could either enable authoritarian control on a scale we've never seen before, or it could help us create a more responsive, a more effective, and a more free society.
And so we are left with the central, massive question that the authors pose. This technology is moving at an exponential rate, but can our political institutions, which, let's be honest, were designed for a much, much slower world, adapt quickly enough to handle the risks and actually seize the opportunities? The answer to that question, well, it's probably going to define the rest of the 21st century.